Hey Airbnb hosts, in this video we'll show you practical ways to remove negative and one-star reviews, as well as our proven methods for preventing problem guests and bad reviews in the first place. Let's dive in. Picture this, you've spent hours making your listing perfect. Guests arrive and everything seems fine. Then boom, a one-star review appears. Completely unfair, damaging your reputation and affecting your bookings. Sound familiar? Don't worry. In this video, I'm going to break down exactly how to remove bad Airbnb reviews, protect your listing, and maintain your 5-star status. Don't forget, if you want the full 18-page step-by-step action checklist PDF for Airbnb reviews and removal, you can download it for free on our website, bnbfastlane.com, and there'll be a link in the bio or comments section for you as well. First, let's talk about Airbnb's review system. Did you know that Airbnb considers anything less than 5 stars a bad review? 4 stars isn't good. It actually works against you. Superhost status? You need a 4.75 average, which means even a single 4-star review can hurt. Airbnb's rating system is skewed against hosts, but if you know the right moves, you can fight back. So if you do happen to get a bad review, how do we fix it? First things first, let's start with prevention methods. The best way to handle bad reviews is to prevent them in the first place. Here are some must-know hosting hacks. Tip number 1, make sure your property is spotless and exactly as described. Cleaning issues are a common complaint from guests in bad reviews. Tip number 2, automate guest messages for seamless communication. Great communication goes a long way with guests to prevent bad attitudes and bad reviews. Having message automation set up means that your guests will always get the key messages you want them to have without you having to remember to send them. Tip number 3, respond fast to any issues, especially in the first 24 hours. If a guest knows you respond quickly, then they know you actually care about their experience and they feel heard. Even if you can't give them the exact response they want, simply being fast to reply to them helps diffuse any situations. Tip number 4, design an incredible first impression. Guests decide how they feel within seconds of walking in. You or one of your team members should do a property check before guests arrive and make sure it looks great for when they arrive. Tip 5, attend the property for issues if you can. Sometimes you can sort out issues without going to the property, but oftentimes if you physically go there and meet the guests in person and are polite and helpful, they will be less likely to want to leave you a bad review. After you attend, make sure you write them a message in Airbnb, in the Airbnb chat, summarizing that you attended the property and fixed the issues, just in case later you need to present it as evidence to Airbnb support. Picture this, a guest enters and they see warm lighting, fresh air, and a perfectly arranged space. That first moment sets the tone for their entire stay. A great first impression can mean the difference between a glowing 5-star review and a nitpicky complaint. Now let's talk about the warning signs for potential problem guests. Sometimes you can spot a bad guest a mile away, especially with experience and knowing what to look for. Watch out for these red flags. Number 1, guests asking for discounts before booking. Cheap guests are rarely great guests. Number 2, complaining about small details right from check-in. Some people are serial complainers. If they are instantly nitpicking, then they may continue to do so throughout the stay. Tip 3, not reading your listing and asking tons of unnecessary questions. If they can't be bothered to read your listing and would rather hassle you, then they probably have a habit of being demanding. Tip 4, taking pictures of minor issues within minutes of arrival. Classic scammer move. This is why it's always a good idea to do pre-arrival checks and take photos so you can prove the home was in clean and good condition for their arrival. Tip 5, guests who want to circumvent your rules or ask you to break them. If they can get away with breaking a few of your rules, they will be more likely to try and get away with more throughout the stay. Stay vigilant. If you see these signs, be prepared. You might be dealing with a difficult guest. So what do you do if a guest is unhappy? Handle the issue before they leave a review. Here's how. Encourage them to report issues early so you can fix them ASAP. Keep all communication inside the Airbnb app, no texting or calling outside. This will be crucial if you need to escalate to Airbnb support. If things seem bad, open a ticket with Airbnb support as soon as possible. This creates a record that may help you remove a bad review later. It's always a good idea to report potential problem guests and issues before they become a problem and they contact Airbnb. If you have already already flagged the guest with support, then they will be much more likely to side with you later. Now let's talk about removing a bad review. If a bad review is already posted, here's the step-by-step strategy to get it removed. 1. Open a ticket with Airbnb support immediately. 2. State that the review violates Airbnb's policy. Use keywords like retaliatory review or house rule enforcement. You can see a list of reasons that reviews can be removed on Airbnb's website. 3. If support gives you a generic copy-paste answer, don't stop. Keep escalating the support ticket. 4. Keep the ticket open as long as possible. Airbnb reps are graded on closing tickets, so the longer it stays open, the more likely a higher up team member sees it. 5. If they refuse, open a new ticket and try again with a different agent. 6. Try different contact methods. If Airbnb refuses to help via a message, try calling them as well and opening another ticket with a different team member. The key is persistence. Airbnb doesn't make it easy, but if you fight smart, you can win. What if the review won't get removed? Then you need to do damage control. Here's how to respond publicly without making things worse. Firstly, don't argue, don't sound defensive, and try not to blame the guest. Stay professional, correct any false claims, and highlight your many positive reviews. For example, you can say, "We're sorry this guest had an issue. We always strive for a 5-star experience, as our many happy guests can confirm." Keep it short and polite and professional. Now let's talk about the secret weapon, Airbnb support loopholes. If you keep getting denied, try calling instead of messaging. Some agents are more lenient over the phone. Also, reach out during peak hours when support teams are overwhelmed. They're more likely to approve removals quickly to clear their queue. Removing 2-star and 3-star guest reviews from Airbnb. These are often much harder to remove because Airbnb sees them as the guest's experience. So you'll need to hope and pray that your guest might be reasonable and take it down themselves. Otherwise, use the above 1-star removal method again. If you're still on speaking terms with the guest, you can contact them and ask if they can remove it themselves by contacting Airbnb. This is the easiest and fastest way to get them removed. This may not always work because some people are unreasonable. Sometimes they may think that 3 stars is a good review because they don't actually know how Airbnb's rating system works. You can let them know how damaging it is to your listing, or in some cases results in your listing getting suspended, and ask if they can please contact Airbnb to have it taken down. Make sure to remind them how quick and easy it is for them to do this. They really only need to send a quick message to Airbnb support to do so. Another benefit of the phone call is that it's a very subtle reminder that you are a real person, that you have a real issue, and that you have their contact number and details. Obviously, don't actually mention any of this in conversation though. Tip: sometimes calling the guest works better than messaging. We often like to call and ask why they chose to leave such a harsh review and remind them we're real people and we always try our best to give a good guest experience. Sometimes they didn't even realize their score was that bad. Always be positive, professional, and friendly if you can. Another tip: whenever a guest makes a reservation, manually write down their phone number, as Airbnb hides them after the booking. If you can get their email address, that can be helpful too. If they are nice on the phone and agree to remove it, follow up with them in a nice message thanking them and detailing what you discussed, so that it reminds them, and also so that there is a message record in case you still need to go to Airbnb for help. If they refuse to remove the review, you'll unfortunately have to go through the same method as the 1-star removal. It is less likely you'll be able to get it taken down, but it is often worth trying to save your star rating. Removing a 4-star guest review from your Airbnb listing. This process is pretty much the same as the previous removing 2/3 stars step. However, it can go 2 ways. Best case scenario is that when you contact the guest and ask why they left a low review score, that they actually didn't realize they did it, and that if they knew it was a low score, they would have gladly left you 5-star. You can just let them know that unfortunately Airbnb penalizes you for scores this low and that they consider anything below a 5 to be a problem. This is true, as you need 4.75 for Superhost status, and too many 4 stars result in penalties from Airbnb. Then when they remove it, you can remind them you're happy to have them as a guest anytime, perhaps even offer a small discount if they want to stay again. Worst case, the guest is awful and they refuse to remove it, thinking they are high and mighty and correct in damaging your listing. This unfortunately happens often with 4-star reviews, and Airbnb is unlikely to actually remove it, although you should always try to get it removed if you can. If all else fails and you're stuck with a bad review, don't panic. Focus on getting more 5-star reviews to drown it out. Encourage happy guests to leave reviews by sending a friendly follow-up message after checkout. Bad reviews happen, but now you know how to fight back. Don't forget, we have a much more in-depth, step-by-step free PDF on our website you can download via the link below this video, or just head to bnbfastlane.com and you'll find it. If you found this helpful, subscribe for more Airbnb business tips and drop a comment below if you've ever had to deal with a bad review. Let's help each other out. See you next time.